How you doing, buddy? I think I'm live. Ah, it says I'm live now. Um, Kenneth, how you doing? I am. I've got a little bit of a project here, um, and I just thought I'd go live and kind of do it live with all of you as we're going through my books. Um, but let me just kind of explain what we're trying to do here. So I have a filing cabinet. I'll just splash the camera over there a little bit. You can see it right there. I have a filing cabinet. It's where I keep sort of the core books of my PC. And it's full. I've shifted some stuff into the shelf. You can see kind of these cases here. Technically, I could kind of create more cases and stack them up and create space for the collection. Technically, I can do that. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep, I have a lot of books I want, but to force myself to keep the collection, we're just trying to limit it to the space that I have. And I've come to the realization that the stuff that I want to collect will not fit in that space. Because let's face it, even if I were to get I'm really focused on picking up as many Jim Lee books as I can, just having it sort of a comprehensive Jim Lee collection. And for me to do that, every Jim Lee book I pick up and put in the filing cabinet, a book has to come out. And just doing that can fill that, I can just fill that cabinet up with Jim Lee books. But there's a big run of X-Men in there that we're nowhere near, finishing. Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four, I'm trying to finish that as well. I'm trying to pick up Neil Adams books or Silver Age books. So you can see the dilemma. Eventually, stuff is going to overflow. And right now, I have an overflow box. I want to say it's more than a short box, but it's not quite a long box. I want to say it's about 3/4 of a long box. So a lot of books. And I'm going to be selling them. They've been for sale, but I find, it rather than trying to sell one or two, these books aren't worth terribly, a lot of money. And with the shipping, it just makes it near impossible to sell online. So my only real options are to sell them as a big bundle and ship it somewhere, which it's just a lot of time to upload all the photos and descriptions and the grades and all that. Or we can sell to a local comic shop, someone, who will give me a fairer deal. It's not always a fair deal, but a fairer deal. And while at the same time helping their business, because and right now it's looking like Destiny City Comics in Tacoma. Ethan is the owner there, love the guy. He's a great comic book owner. He's very transparent and fair. Uh, and we had a conversation. If I were to bring over books, he told me, kind of outline what he'd pay for them. He'd kind of make a determination on, uh, in terms of grade and all that. Uh, if the grade's not at a certain caliber for lower end books, they go to the dollar bit, and he has a price set on those books, and then price set on keys and all that. So you know, um, we are going to prepare some books for him. Now, all the books in the overflow, I've determined we want to sell. I mean, they're eventually not going to be part of the PC. Um, and it's a hard decision, but again, it's that space issue. Um, and I'm at the point where, like, hey, Miss, so what's up? I'm at the point where I got to do kind of like a hard reset. Just kind of purge all the books, have my overflow box looking somewhat more, you know, uh, yeah, just having space. So if I'm gonna have an overflow box of stuff I want, that's okay. Like if the overflow box is gonna be truly of let's say it's just gonna be a Jim Lee box moving forward, I'm fine with that. Um, or just like a John Byrne Fantastic Four, separate that out and keep that. Or even the X Men. I think this right here could be the overflow box could accommodate just X Men, right? Have it sort of as a separate thing, and then have more space for, again, those things that I mentioned. We're trying to collect a lot of things right now, and I haven't really decided where to draw that line. At some point, I may just say, like, what, screw it, we can't do Fantastic Four anymore, and that'll go into the overflow box, and we'll stop buying books to get there. Um, but it's all kind of up in the air. But I have kind of focused it right now in terms of what I have in the filing cabinet. I focused it to certain like categories and books that I want to collect. And so far, so good. We've got a little bit of like wiggle room now to add stuff. But like I said, the overflow box is a big issue. We want to resolve that before we really focus on picking up more stuff. So, with that being said, I am not going to sell everything in the overflow box, even though I should. Even though I should just sell the entire overflow box and see what we can get for it. But there are still things in that overflow box that I want to keep for now. And we're only going to select really the ones I feel like, okay, these ones we're fine to sell as long as we get a fair price on them. We're fine to sell them. But there are going to be other books where I want to hang on to them until I have, again, like I can build up that overflow again, and it gets to a point where, like, okay, we got to purge it now. So that's kind of where we are. So what I'm going to do in this session is we're going to go through the overflow box, and we're going to put it in keep, possibly keep, sell, like kind of 3 piles, and then we'll go from there. Now, keep in mind, all of these books, are technically like available either for trade. If you want to buy it, it's feel free. Um, but what I want to avoid is selling individual books and shipping those. And I'm sure you want to avoid that too. Having to pay shipping just for like one book that's not even worth maybe $2-3, right? Um, so what I propose is I'm gonna be presenting a lot of stuff, putting them into piles, and if you want the book, uh, direct message me either here or on Instagram. You can offer a trade. Feel free to do that. I take Jim Lee books, Peach Momoko books, Brian Bolland books for at the moment. Mark Silvestri X-Men is good too. Um, so yeah, just propose, somewhere between 5 to 10 books, because I can send 5 to 10 books in a nice mailer, and we can, settle on a price. Uh, I'm trying to avoid trades now because I realize trades, well, I get what I want. It's that shipping uh, adds up. So until I get more of a budget, um, yeah, it's not feasible for me to ship. Now, if I'm selling it, the price, if I'm selling 10 books, we'll just incorporate the shipping into the price as well. So whatever you're paying is the shipping is integrated into that. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to do. And I've already kind of separated books between, like, okay, this is definitely the stuff I want to get rid of, I want to sell. And then the stuff that we're like, oh, if we just had space, or if we just had, um, I don't know, like more, yeah, if we just had more space, it would be, these would be books I'd want to keep. Yeah. Yeah. In a perfect world, these would be all, I guess they would all be books I'd want to keep. But in the lesser perfect world, there are books I'd still want to keep and books I don't want. And then you know, in a not so perfect world, which is kind of where we are, there's, yeah, books, more books we want to keep, less we want to give away. Um, I don't think that I don't think that last part made any sense, but hopefully you got my gist. All right, so we'll start here, and there's nothing really special about this book. Um, we're starting here with the House of X, #1. It's a real clean copy. It's near mint, um, and I want to keep this. I really enjoyed the Hickman, um, the House of X, the Powers of X. I've read some more um, of this ongoing, of some of the titles in the ongoing series, uh, and it's been really good. So I mean, this is like, you know, the first issue of this sort of timeline. No, not really. Still got my duplicates. And that I'm thinking I can bundle in like a separate package to sell. Like I've got a lot of Jim Lee duplicates, um, a lot of just regular duplicates. And so we'll see. We're not really cramped for space to that point yet where I would need to sell my Jim Lee duplicates and stuff because I like having duplicates. Um, I shouldn't, but it's one of those things like, oh man, you see it somewhere really cheap and you're just like, I'm sure I could sell it for more than that at the end of the day somewhere, right? And more of what you like. Having more of what you like isn't always a bad thing. So, um, yeah. But anyway, okay. So this one here, House of X #1, it's available. You can kind of claim it, and we'll put it. Again, you got to bundle it. If you want it, I'm going to bundle it for you. Have it be 5 to 10 books, and we'll land on a price if you want. Otherwise, this was one where I think there will be plenty of opportunities. It is a big book. I think long term, this is going to have, this is just going to be a book that people want to collect. I mean, it already is to a certain degree. I'm going to put it in the keep pile for now. Okay, I'm going to put it in the keep pile. These Venoms are another. These are also ones I'm like wanting to keep. Even though these, like, some of these have really like good high, resale value and stuff. So these are ones I know Ethan would probably pay more for. We've got issue 2. We've got 2 issue 5s. Speaking of doubles, both high grade. We've got an issue 4 as well. We've also got We Are Venom movie. This is the back cover. I just think the back cover is really good. But the Venom movie, like free comic book movie promo. And then we've got a book from my original collection, The Web of Spider-Man Trial of Peter Parker. That I am going to keep. So I'm just going to move this one into just a separate bag and board to keep. And this is kind of what I mean. It's like a process. So I'm just happy to sit here and jabber with you while I do it. All right. So, I do love this Venom Lethal Protector series, and it's, something from my collecting era that's very memorable. But, again, it just comes down to like prioritizing. And the only reason I'm keeping this one is because it's from my original collection. It's actually a book I physically bought and read when I, during the heyday of my collecting. It's a great John Romita Jr. cover as well. Just love that cover. So that's staying in the keep pile. This Venom, I'm going to be transparent. This is just a really beat up copy of the Venom movie promo. And, it's not high grade. There's like a crease here. Not that it's like low grade, but it's solid mid grade. On a modern book, it's the official movie collectible. I don't know how many copies there are of this, but if you're a Venom fan, maybe it's something you like and would want to keep. So we got a little Venom bundle here for those of you who collect and like Venom. We got Now I'm keeping Venom Lethal Protector 1. I'm keeping that one. But I can be enticed to add that to the list because even though that's a book I like and want to keep, at the end of the day, if it's, it definitely would, when push comes to shove with the space issue, that's a book that, these are all books that would probably give way to they give way to us not keeping it. Yeah. Us being able to part ways with it, like being sacrificed. It's part of that overflow box. So this one, I'm going to see what Ryan's going to give. Ethan's going to give me for this lot. And we'll go from there. For now, I'm going to say put it in the maybe pile. And the maybe pile goes right here toward the front. Here's another book from my original collection. I'm trying to keep all the ones because I don't, the thing with my original books is when I got back into collecting, the books that because my parents moved around and unfortunately, they kind of lost a lot of things during the moves. But fortunately, there was like a sort of a core collection of books, like just a couple short boxes and like a box of books, which there were so many, like just raw and some in bags and boards. I just kind of throw them all away because a lot of them were like 90s image, things that weren't worth anything. And I dumped them. I only kept the ones that were of like higher value. But I regret doing that now. Because it was still like my original collection, you know what I mean? Like those books were like I'd read all of the books. But anyway, there were a bunch of image books in there that I didn't keep. And at the time, it was kind of like it's just taking up space. These books aren't worth anything, so we just kind of dumped them. But then when I really got back into collecting or made that decision to like start collecting stuff again, I was just like, man, those books would have been nice to have. But luckily, like stuff like this is just remains a part of the collection. Yeah. This is a book I got early, like one of my earlier collecting books. So this was a key back in the day for some reason. I forget what it was. It might have just been like a first appearance of something. It's not a key now, but back in the day, this was quite a popular book. Just remember, Hobgoblin was like, it was a villain that was kind of like, oh, it's sort of a more sadistic and powerful Green Goblin. So yeah, we'll keep that one. This one I will be selling, and I think I'm hoping to get good value for it. The first appearance of Billy Morales. This one, man, I think I'd have to keep this one. Nah, what I mean by keep is put in the sell later pile. Just a great Black Spidey Doc Ock cover there. We got the Powers of X #1, which I think I'm going to keep along with the House of X issue #1. Yeah, those are nice. These Spider-Verse ones, I think I'm good. We'll sell these. Got Spider-Verse 4, Spider-Verse Part 5. Those have good. Those are keys. They're high grade, and I should be able to hopefully get a fair price from Ethan. All right, these Spawn books. 2 of these Spawn books are from my original collection. The others I kind of picked up. And again, if I could pick up more Spawn as a collection, I would love to, because it's something I did collect back in the day. It's just I'm at a point right now where, can't pick up everything, so making the choice to give these up. But these are books I'm going to hang on to and not sell for the time being until we reached a more like desperate kind of space. And right now, if there's a purpose for an overflow box, this would be it. So we've got this is really actually a really nice newsstand copy of Spawn #6. That's a high value book right there. Newsstand edition. Great cover by McFarlane too. We've got 21, 24, and 27 and 30. These actually are 2 of my original collection books. So we'll want to keep that. So I'm just gonna, again, this will go into the don't sell yet pile. We're gonna keep pile. And buys us a little bit more time in terms of, we're not going to sell these to Ethan this month. Let's just put it that way. We're putting together sort of an immediate sell group of books, and I know Ethan would pay good money for these. These are just Spawns always are going to sell. And again, I'm open to selling this little bundle here, except the 2 books from my original collection, the 27 and the 30. But I'm down to sell the other copies. So if you want, like, again, a bundle, a little deal together, shoot me over a message. We can get that going. All right, so that stays in the we're going to keep for now pile. All right, the next book. Jeez. So I have this complete run of Daredevil The Man Without Fear. This is Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. Goodness, I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. If you haven't read this sort of origin, it's a mini series, but if you haven't read this like origins, it's like literally like an origin and kind of like a modern take on the Daredevil. Look at it kind of, you can look at it as like Daredevil origin year one kind of story. And man, is it good. It's good. And I went back and read this recently too, and it hasn't lost any of the impact since the day I read these. So these are just, again, part of my original collection books, and just a favorite in the collection. So these will not be going anywhere. These actually shouldn't be considered overflow books, but yeah, we're going to take that out. I'm not selling those. Oh, man. Got more books that we don't want to sell than we're going to sell. That's not good. This one I'm going to keep as well. Just this great Travis Charest cover, newsstand edition. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. So we'll keep that one. All-Star Superman #1. I think we're going to keep this one too for now. At least until, Legacy gets going. But, yeah. This is Frank Quitely art. Let me know what you think of Frank Quitely. I'm not the biggest fan, but I know some people really like his artwork. I'm just kind of like, it's all right. But got that stuff there. And these Daredevils, what to do with these Daredevils? They're all newsstand editions. It's just, yeah, this is kind of like stuff from my collecting era that I just kind of always wanted to collect and build a run on. So when I ran into these, again, I got a lot of these for like 50 cents. The newsstand copies too. I got a lot of these. They're not worth a lot, but again, they're 90s newsstand copies. For me, that's kind of cool. Just this was like newsstand. This is 90s were when the newsstands died, right? They never really came back. And that's kind of like why I like collecting them. To be honest, it's just collecting the memory of something that, the way people bought comic books had changed. And so by the 90s, it was, it was just kind of this like slow death toward, buying them from like your neighborhood store or, like literally like a newsstand somewhere, like newspapers and magazines and comic books, to just getting them at your local comic book shop. We're kind of determining what we're going to sell this month, 22. We're going to put together like a sell box. I'm going to sell it to my local LCS. So I'm just determining what's going to go in that sell box. And right now I'm just deciding not to sell stuff. I'm going to keep these Daredevil newsstands. Now, if you want to buy this bundle of 90s Daredevil newsstands, and they're all high grade, I'm going to say VF or higher. You're free to, and it's actually a good, let's count how many books I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. And we'll throw in, these are not newsstands, but we'll throw in the first gray suit, which is also a glow in the dark cover, and then the last finale of Fall from Grace. We'll sell this nice Daredevil bundle together. If you want the bundle, just message me. We'll land on a price, but for now, I'm going to keep those. All right. We've got some Batman. And Batman is something I collect, which makes it really hard. We got these freaking great ass covers too. Got this beautiful Capullo cover, keeping that. Beautiful Mignola cover and newsstand, keeping that. Another newsstand. The artist it's some like weird European artist. Just a beautiful cover, colorful cover. We're keeping that one too. I mean, why not? Why not keep all the Batmans? We can. First Anarchy. That one will sell. Yeah. 30. I'm gonna sell this one too. This is in my kind of like reluctant to sell but sell pile. So, this Jock Scott Snyder Batman Detective Comics, I am going to keep. Death of Alfred, we will sell. Justice #1, #2. This is the villains variant. I'm going to keep these because I want to pick up the Justice Heroes variant. And I just love these Alex Ross covers. So Alex Ross is another, like, the reason I'm not adding more Alex Ross books is because there's a lot of Alex Ross books and I just have no space for them. So again, we're putting it in the not sell right now pile, but it's still in the sell pile. We're just getting books ready for Destiny City Comics, the ones that we just kind of want to sell immediately. And this one here, Transformers Universe 1 and 3. I love this Dinobots. Love that Dinobots cover. We're keeping. It speaks to my era. And Weapon X 1, 2, and I think 4. We sold issue 3, weirdly enough. We'll sell these ones. And Got some more Batman here. Another great Alex Ross cover there. Keeping that one. Nice Jason Fabok. Keeping that one. The Mud Pack. Let's see if the Mud Pack has the poster inside. If it has the poster inside, we may keep it. It's actually a really nice newsstand copy. It does have the poster inside. What do you know? There you go. Bogdanovich. Looks like a Bogdanovich poster. Nice. We'll keep that. No, maybe it's a Norm Breyfogle poster. Let me know if you know who did that poster. That's a pretty cool newsstand. You know, it's a decent newsstand copy. It is, I think it is the first issue, so we'll keep that one for now. I know a lot of people rag on Frank Miller art, but I am one of the people that like Frank Miller art. And case in point, we get this beautiful wraparound Catwoman cover. Gotta love Catwoman. All right. Again, I think I could sell all these Batman to Agu at some point. Have this really high grade 90s Batman Adventures 33. It's freaking 9/8 Ken-bit up and down. And it's a newsstand, like I said, 90s newsstand, mid 90s newsstand on this one. So I doubt you're going to find a higher grade newsstand copy of this one. We also have the Mask of the Phantasm. We'll hang on to those. All right, we are going to sell our Weapon X's. I kind of was trying to finish this run, and we kind of picked up a lot of the books, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. We have 83, 80, 83, and 84. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The little 8-book bundle. That lenticular Batman cover was just dope. It still is. It still is dope. And, you know, I just call, you know, I think Fabok, there's anybody that, you know, if there's anybody that's similar to Jim Lee in terms of style, and I mean, it's Fabok. Fabok, I kind of want to say is like Jim Lee's like protege, like unofficial protege, because it just, you know, it's like he got trained. He trained himself off of Jim Lee art or something, but really good stuff. Yeah, with a little bundle of Weapon X here. I'm not gonna sell. Actually, I have 2 copies of Weapon X 72. I'm willing to give up, I guess, the lower grade copy, which is going to be like a VF copy. I'm willing to add that to this little bundle and have it like 72 through whatever, like a little 10-book bundle. I'll sell it as a bundle if you're looking to get Weapon X. So yeah, that's, if you're interested in that, message me. All right, so we've got, I kind of have a better idea like what I'm going to keep for now. So this was not a completely wasted exercise. And I'm going to just wait putting in those books until we go through this little pile here. Okay. We got Marvels. And with the Marvels, I'm not wanting to sell the Marvels unless I can get. All right, so this Bronze Age Batman. You've got 340 and 341. We'll sell those. Green Lantern #1. Man, I don't want to sell this, but we won't. all these Alex Ross covers we're gonna keep. Just keep for now. We'll sell them to somebody who maybe appreciates Alex Ross art or something. I love this cover. And Jose Luis Garcia Lopez is an artist who doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he was drawing that man like early copper, right? Late bronze, early copper, and just was like killing it. Absolutely killing it. Or I want to say in the Bronze Age, right? He's late Bronze Age. He was working on Batman. And I mean, just look at this cover, man. It's freaking genius. So we'll hang on to that. This is my original. These are my original copies of Sabretooth 1 and Cable 1. You can see where my focus was at back in the day. These were popular books. And they're not worth anything now. But we're going to keep them because we'll keep this Art Train one as well. Again, these are all artists I like. It's just at the end of the day, I kind of have to draw the line. So we're not going to sell them right off. We're going to keep them, try to keep them a little bit longer. My original issue of Batman 500. This is just fabulous condition too. Yeah, my original books are all going to be in really good shape. Got some more Alex Ross Secret Wars covers. We'll keep these as well. Punisher Warzone, we're going to keep. War Machine #1, we're going to keep. This Marvel's Zero we'll keep. Even though it is kind of a dinged up copy, we'll keep it. Yeah. Here are some doubles. What do you know? And I'm going to keep these. Keep and keep. All right, so we made kind of a decision to keep our Alex Ross stuff. All right. That pretty much does it. Again, everything I just showed off is technically available. Again, if it's my original collection books, outside of my original collection books, everything's available, technically. So if you're wanting anything, feel free to select a group of books. That's a great cover right there. I love that. This was just a straight cover by. Feel free to offer me or just tell me what you want, and then shoot me over an offer, I'm very likely to just accept it if it's fair. Yeah, this Transformers one, I really want to keep that one. It's just a space issue. I may keep the Dinobots cover. I just love the Dinobots. Like anybody else who watched the series, grew up on that series, would tell you the Dinobots are what made that series really. Season 1. The Grimlock. They were dumb but lovable robots. Yes. All right. Yeah, I feel pretty good about the keep pile. I think and I feel good about the sell pile as well. Like what we want to keep, what we want to sell. So doing this exercise was not a complete waste. Now we're going to switch over to the books I've already kind of deemed as the sell pile. So wait, let me put the sell books in the sell pile. Let's see here. Right up to Spawn, I believe it was. So we'll put these books over here, and we'll just go through. See, this is in the sell pile, but this is like my original. These are my original copies of 2099 AD chromium foil covers. 90s freaking goodness right there. And these are direct editions. We are going to keep those. Those are original from my original collection. Bloodstrike. Should I keep this one? Is there spec value on this one? What do you think? Let's hold on to it. That's good advice, 22. If I didn't have it, would I buy it? If the answer is no, you sell it. That is good advice. If I didn't have it, so like I guess you're saying if you didn't have it and it was selling for like cover price, would you buy it? So would I buy this for $295? Yeah, I would. I would buy this for $295. Would I sell it for $295? I'd sell it for $3. Or $5. I'd sell it for $5. Now there is an issue with this one. There's like a color breaking spine tick there on the corner, but other than that, it's like a really nice copy. I kind of did that myself. That was the reason this has a spine tick, because well, actually, I'm not the reason. I didn't check it. The bag had this like scar on it, like it was like stuck or something, and I kind of moved it, and under it was some damage. This is the cover with the real blood on it. I mean, that's got to be worth something, right? Just being the first comic book with actual blood. Apparently, that was the marketing around this. They use like apparently it's mixed with like real blood or something. Obviously a gimmick, but that's just kind of that's what the 90s were, right? Just a bunch of gimmicks to tits and ass gimmicks and a lot of gory and violent comic books. Great time to be a comic book collector. So I believe we'll hang on to this one. I think that's worth hanging on to. Because I mean, Ethan's gonna give me literally like 30 cents for that book. And I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna hang on to that. So I mean, I'll just preempt that conversation by not even entering into it. This is a recent pickup, and again, I picked it up specifically for the fact that, like, again, I picked it up for 25 cents. It's a $10 book. It's the first issue of the Death miniseries. So I just want to move it to a bag and board that doesn't have 25 cents on it, so that when Ethan looks at it, he won't be like, you got this for a quarter and you're trying to sell it to me for $10. You don't want to do that, right? So what I'm going to do is going to move it over to I'm going to just trade places with something I do want to keep. So I do want to keep this book, so I'll just trade it. There we go, put it in there. Yeah, if you want this Death book, hit me up. It's really nice. It's in real good condition, solid, near mint minus VF Plus copy. All right, so we'll just, there we go. It has a $4 price tag. It'll give Ethan some pause. Hey, I should at least pay him what he bought the book for. $44. I could probably sell this for 10 or more. Sure you can, Ethan. Ethan is a great social media seller because I'm constantly looking at his. He has a system set up where he puts stuff out. You're supposed to email him, but I kind of message him since we have that special relationship. But all right, so we're selling this to Ethan. It's going in the sell pile. What to do? I really love this Jim Cheung cover. We're getting into this territory here where I got a bunch of 25-cent stickers that I should just kind of rip off so it's not an awkward situation. Wait, you got this for a quarter and you're selling it to me for, more? Now, one thing we have to establish here, there are comic book sort of wholesalers, and they're like essentially warehouses of old comics, and a lot of the collectors in this region, when they're tight on inventory, and they just need to sell stuff, they'll go and get just a gajillion sort of unsorted books and hopefully hit some, high priced or, moderate keys or rising keys. But those books you can get for literally 25 cents each, or some as low as like a dime or a nickel each, right? Because if you're buying them in bulk, you're essentially getting them for like pennies on the dollar. I'm cognizant of that when I'm trying to sell some of this stuff to Ethan. I know he can pick up a lot of these exact same books at the warehouse for much less. But what I'm trying to get is, he's not going to be able to get some of like an issue like this maybe, which is a key. At that price, or maybe he could. This is not that rare. I'm sure there's. I just love this Jim Chung cover. Big fan of Jim Chung's artwork. And we've got the scrolls in the background. Just a great cover, but alas, we do need to sell stuff, so I'm going to sell it. This one I think I'm going to keep. These are my original issues of Gen 13. We'll keep those. I'm specking on Gen 13 anyway. We had Ryan Odagawa on the other night. And all right, good night, 22. Thanks for hanging out a little bit. And we had Ryan Odagawa on the other night, and he shared with us the Gen 13 movie is up on YouTube. And I watched the Gen 13 movie. I didn't realize it was uploaded, but someone had uploaded the full sort of high HD copy of the 90s movie, which got produced and made, but never released. It was a really shitty movie. Like Mark Hamill voiced one of the characters in it. Cloris Leachman voiced one of the characters in it, and it had a good cast of voice actors. It was really just awfully animated movie. I'll just leave it at that. They could have, let me just say, they could have done a way better job with it. I'll just leave it at that. It's like they didn't really put a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't put a lot of thought into the production. The animation quality was poor. The story was just awful. And it seemed like it was kind of targeted at like high school kids who maybe are on drugs or something. I don't know. I just didn't get who the demographic they were targeting was, but it was not well made at all. All right, so let's see here. I am going to, we just need to move stuff around here. I am going to sell this Superpowers #1, which is Jack Kirby art. great Jack Kirby cover. I think I'm going to keep this Spider-Man book as well. We'll sell this later. And we're going to definitely keep this Bulls for Tasia. This is for my original collection. This was a hot book. I remember this was like a $25, $30 book when it first came out. That was just it's not worth, it's like $1 book now, but back when it came out, man, that was a book you wanted. All right, since we're selling these, I'm gonna double back them. I just want to make sure yeah, I think this is a book that I would keep normally, but given all the space, I'm gonna put that other book in here actually. This in here. I do like this Kirby cover though, Dark Side. Come on. I hate tight bags of boards, just could never get books in them. It's probably the reason why we have spine ticks, because these bags and boards are always well, I don't think I should double back the board this one. This is just too tight for 2 comics, so just keep it 1. All right, Good Asian. Looks like we can put 2 in here. Pair the Good Asian up with Crisis on Infinite Earths. My point with this, it's Legends of the DC Universe, Crisis on Infinite Earths. And the reason that makes this book a key and significant is we have the first appearance of a black Superman, a black Wonder Woman, and a black Batman, I believe, or just a black Justice League. So that kind of like was like, wow, I want to keep this book. But yeah, we'll try to pick it up at a later time. Going back to 22's comment, kind of looking at it, and if it's something I would buy, like keeping it, if it's something I wouldn't buy. This is actually something I would buy. It's just like I've decided that G.I. Joe would be something we'd only pick up like key issues of. This is a key issue, but what I'm saying is like sort of, I don't know, I just can't. I want to pick up G.I. Joe. I want to collect it. I just can't. So I'm just kind of like admitting defeat, and it's that's a freaking awesome mic set cover though. Look at that. explosions, gunfire. I mean, that's classic Sec right there. All right, we're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting to our cell pile. Oh wait, or not cell pile. Wait, why do I have Venom in my, I don't want to sell Venom right away. I don't want to sell this Batman either, so put these back in the not sell pile. There we go. All right, this Aliens cover. This is a book I had. This is not my original book, but I had this book growing up. And this is what I was really into Aliens, is, as every little kid is, but we'll sell that one. See, Deadpool #1. We'll sell. So we're getting into some of the keys that I'm like, they're keys, but I'm not. This one I'd love to keep. It's just a great Jim. So it's like a fold-out cover. Jim Chung. That is just a dope Jim Chung cover. I'm gonna keep this one. Just gonna keep it. I feel like I'm just like, like at some point, a book like that, I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna come back to haunt me and be like, I should have kept that book. Kind of that situation. All right, so we've got Infinity War #1 and #2. Both key books that should have some resale value there. We've got Transformers. That should garner some value. Those are keys. Got a 1602. First Peter Parker, as well as a Justice League Rebirth. Just a dope Joe Madureira Trinity cover. Got some Green Lantern keys. This will probably, I don't know, I hope Ethan considers that they're key books, not dollar bin books. These will probably put in the dollar bin. I would love to keep these though, especially this cover right there. But alas, we have to make a choice, and we're going to sell those. This Mike Grell. I'm going to keep it. Keep the Mike Grell, Mike Green Lantern. Zombie. These are great zombie covers. We got the Jim Lee, as well as the we'll put them in the not sell for now pile. The not sell for now pile is nicely grown into a big pile of books now. Let's see what else we got. All right, so these are doubles. I don't feel bad about selling off stuff like this. These are some of my Jim Lee. I don't think I can get much value for this dollar book, so I'll just keep it. I'd rather keep, if I'm going to get just like 30 cents for it. These Young Bloods will sell, even though these are from my original. I have a second printing from my original collection of Youngblood #1. Could that be worth something someday? Possibly. But Mom, we're gonna sell. Well, thing is, like, Ethan's not gonna give me anything for this, so this just might as well keep it. It's just nostalgia for me. And Rob Liefeld just announced his retirement from Marvel, so is that really gonna amount to much? I'm gonna sell this Punisher. What else we got here? We're gonna sell this Adam Hughes Wonder Woman 84 variant. Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. Another Adam Hughes. Hopefully, I'm gonna keep that. That's just too good. That's 90s goodness that we don't need to undersell. I mean, these books we have to undersell, but all right, I'm okay with selling the What If. Okay with selling 2 signed copies. Hopefully, Ethan finds value in that. Okay with selling Saga, some key Saga books. Again, the X-Men. We'll sell that one. Supergirl #1. The Gen 13 Rave. That's something I want to keep. The Rave cover. Supergirl we could do without. So what I'll do is I'll just take Supergirl out. And put this. Just move Supergirl here. And this is, again, I love this Rick Buckler cover. It's just her breasts are, he fucked up her breasts, basically. Be a nice cover if you can fuck up the breasts. All right. So we'll keep this Gen 13 Rave cover. This is one of the variant covers, I believe. And Raves were big in the 90s. Raves are, yeah, I just don't know how you could do a rave now with all the fentanyl and crap out there. I'm going to sell these Star Wars photo covers. Basically, raves were like, you know, you could do acid, ecstasy, just like a myriad of drugs and party all night. I'm sure that stuff still goes on now. But shit, man, you'd be risking your life to do something like that these days. All right. I think I'm going to keep this one because it's not worth much right now, but I do see it having future value, and that is this Wanted #1 exclusive. This is limited to 5,000 copies. So if this ever gets picked up or whatever, people are going to be wanting, and this is the kind of stuff that they're wanting to produce these days, just like, you know, this is the stuff people enjoy watching on their streaming channels and whatnot. Violence and sex and all the stuff that sells. So I just see tremendous value for this book. So we will keep this one. I am going to sell this one. I've got 5 copies, so don't need 5. But yeah, going back to the, raves in the 90s, like you could literally just like be out there, people are sharing drugs, you just don't know what the hell you're taking. But that was kind of, I guess there wasn't a fear that you were going to OD or die with anything incredibly lethal, right? You might have a bad trip. You might take something like ecstasy mixed with something else and get sick. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you could definitely overdose on like harder drugs, like like heroin, some of the other things. But like for the most part, raves were kind of like this like safe, controlled zone of like safe drugs. Kids were dying. If anything, things that people were sent to the hospital for was like dehydration or some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you could do raves now with with fentanyl. If fentanyl mixed with anything, that's going to kill you, right? So if I think what we're seeing is like just with meth and fentanyl, yeah, it's just kind of sad how those drugs are really taking people's lives because people just don't understand the risks. All right, we got an Adam Hughes cover here, along with a Betty and Veronica. It's a free book. I'm just thinking, is Ethan going to give me anything for this book? No. So we're going to keep it. If we can't get much for the book, I'd rather keep it. Now we're kind of tight on the keep books, so we're kind of into that. I'm actually going to end up selling very little to Ethan, it looks like. There's just not much here that we're wanting to give up. I want to keep this book as well. This is so what I can do is I can just keep it as is. Just keep it. This is the free comic book day. Lois Lane takes over. It's where they reimagine Lois Lane as Asian American. So it's a must-have for Lois Lane fans, Asian comic book fans, and fans of Ariel Jovianos and Sarah King, who came on our show. Wonderful, wonderful creators. Absolutely incredible people. All right, so we've got some X-Men here. These are all great books, so feel free to claim them before they make their way to Destiny City Comics. If you're still counting books and kind of drawing up your bundle, mention that you want those X-Men. All-Star Squadron #1. Alas, I will. Let's sell it. We're gonna sell it. Hit Girl, Vertigo. Yeah, let's sell those. This is my original copy of Extreme Sacrifice. Dope Rob Liefeld cover. And I know Ethan's not going to give me anything for it, so that's another thing we'll keep. That's another thing we'll keep. We'll sell this, we'll sell this. Liefeld X Factor, we'll sell that. Jim Lee, this is a double. I'm gonna keep these two. I'm gonna keep these two. It's just, I know I have doubles of it, but 90s newsstands, just too much nostalgic value there for me to. All right, Nightwing, the Kindred, we can sell that. We'll sell the Spider-Gwen, we'll sell the Spider-Man, Supergirl #1. Those are fine. Okay. Alrighty. What else? We got Grifter Midnighter. Yeah, we'll sell that one. Signed by Ryan Benjamin. Hopefully, Ethan knows his comic book creators, and we got Fantastic Four #1. This is a great wraparound Galactus cover by Art Adams. Wow. That's something we should keep. All right, and this one I want to keep too. Newsstand copy of Incredible Hulk 454, and it's our Adam Cooper cover here. That is a keeper. Man. All right, that's a keeper. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to get much for this, but don't really have need for that double, so we'll keep that. Let's sell it. this has really turned into a sort of futile exercise here. I mean, I really will probably go to Destiny with all of these books and see what he offers me for the whole thing. I mean, there are a lot of books in here with a lot of sentimental value. But the point of the whole exercise was to sell stuff. So I have to I'm going to go sort of offer it up and say, okay, how much for these books here? How much for the total books? How much for these books? And we'll make a decision. Nice signed book there. I'm going to separate all the signed books so we can get a good fair price for the signed books. Got Ms. Marvel. I'm going to also separate the keys as well. Got a UK price variance there. She's got some nice key 90s books here. All stuff I'd keep. Like a little New Mutants run. All stuff I would keep if we had space. Yeah, I've got Don McLeod, Bill Sienkiewicz, Art Adams, Rob Liefeld. Goodness. Yeah, this is another book from my original collection. All right, so this nice Iron Man cover homage, Iron Man #1 homage. There we go. All right, well, gonna kind of separate the keys here. Okay, sorry it took so long. So yeah, I mean, we've got trying to place my sort of key books in the front so you can kind of see them first. I'm also going to separate my signed books so he sees those first as well. Kind of builds up the value in his mind. Yeah, I think it's just fair to see kind of what offers we can get for the whole bundle, the bundle that we just want to sell, and make a decision based on that. Because if we don't get a fair value at the end of the day, especially on the stuff we want to, like we're borderline want to keep, But I know Ethan's going to give me a good value, so I just want to be able to take the whole package. There's nothing really in here that I desperately want to keep. Although some of the nostalgic books, I should definitely keep the nostalgic books, like that Daredevil, the Daredevil run. All the rest of this stuff is, yeah, we're good to, I think we're good to part with. So, again, there's not anything incredibly valuable. I mean, I shouldn't say value. There's good value in here. We've got this beautiful Ms. Frank Cho Ms. Marvel cover. This is a $20 book right here. Look at that. Frank Cho can draw the busty the busty comic book heroines for sure. That's kind of his jam. Busty heroines. All right. So yeah, we got some key books here. Just kind of leaving at the forefront, and I've got it nice and separated now. So I got literally just 2 rows of books. One is books we want to really sell. The other is books we want to keep. I'm actually going to separate. I'm going to separate the ones that there are some that I really, really want to keep, like this Daredevil run, the Gen 13s. What else? Just Wildcats newsstand. The Hulk newsstand. How to use yeah, again, a lot of this stuff I do want to keep. This Batman Adventures. I'm not going to sell this Batman Adventures for anything less than $25. It's just too good of a. These are the potential 9.8, and All right, so we're gonna put a couple books that we won't take with us. When we sell the books, we won't take a couple of these books. We'll just leave them here. The rest, I think we're good. I think we get a good offer, we can just sell it. I know a lot of the high value books there are. A lot of the high value books there are already in the sale pile. It's the non-valued stuff that I have sentimental value for that we're having difficulty letting go. And I've separated a couple of them, but think being able to sell some of the books from my original collection will be I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm just being like, do I really want to do that? Will I not have regrets later? And I'm just gonna do one more little take. I'm kind of I'm putting some books, all the nostalgia books, kind of to the side. Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we want to sell, we've got a nice little, I want to say nice 3/4 of a short box. Um, it a short box? Yeah. We've got about a short box worth of books we really want to sell. And then another 3/4 that we're kind of like, if we get a good price, we could sell. And then there's just a little stack of books that I'm not going to sell because I mean we're just not going to get value for it. I don't think Ethan's going to even give me anything above $1 for that other, stuff like. Is he going to give me $1 for this? It's a newsstand Punisher Warzone. It's a 90s book. It's an incredible John Romita Jr. cover. And it's a newsstand, high grade newsstand. So I don't want to sell it. If he's not going to give me at least $5 for it, I'm not going to sell it. But the other stuff is fine, like I've got like $20 books in there. If he gives me, like $6-7 for it, that's fine. Like this book, it's a $10 book. It's probably gonna trend up when season 2 comes out. And high grade. Do I expect him to pay me $5 for it? No. $3 to $4. It's kind of where I would what I want for this book. So as long as I get like a third of the value of the book, especially the high grade ones like this Infinity War, right? We're wanting at least five for a pop for each of these. So we'll just have to see. Like, Ethan has a book at the store, and he said he can't trade anything for it because it's on. It's basically one of those books. What is it called? They basically pay a guy to sell it for them. And if the guy sells it, the guy makes a commission. But he's using if it sells through his channel, I just can't think of the word for that. It's one of those like commission sales, and he has to sell it via cash, or just it has to be a transaction, right? It's a book I really want. So part of this is kind of like if I can get, part of the value, like close to the value of that book. I don't think I can, none of this, I don't think I can get really the value up to the value of that book. Just don't have enough books. But if we can get close and then offer him some cash and get that book, that would be awesome. It's a book I really want. I'm just really hoping that book, because we're going to come into some cash this summer. I'm really hoping that book is still available. So we'll see. But anyway, I kind of have everything partitioned out now. I know, we're going to kind of get offers from the two sections. I'm gonna get an offer for the whole thing, get an offer for this section, the sell section. And I think we'll definitely like come home with the sell section sold for sure. Because yeah, I just want to kind of just sell those books, see what he offers, unless it's a real low ball kind of figure. I'm probably going to sell them. But for the other books, the books that we kind of went through and said I'm going to keep these, will consider his offer for the whole thing. Consider his offer for just those ones that we want to really sell. And then we'll make a decision. And if his offer for the whole thing can garner me that one book that, because I have some cash too. I have about roughly $50 in cash. So if I can get like about 150 for the whole thing, which could be a stretch. I mean, he could go $1.50, $1 per book, right, with the keys and everything. He could go $1 per book, and then if that's the case, I have more than 150 books in here, so I could just do that and be like, hey, look, how about $1 for everything here? It's 150. You get hundreds of books. And he might be down to do that because you just sell some of the keys for what they're worth, and you've made that money back. So if that's the case, if he takes that offer, I can get that book. I can definitely get that book. So if we get that book, I'll reveal what it is on the show. All right, so right now Ethan wasn't feeling good today. So he did tell me to drop by with the books after the middle of the month. So I'm targeting the 3rd week. I'll check in with him, before I go, but I'm targeting the 3rd week of February to drop in. I have some books on hold there, so pick those up, sell these, and hopefully get that book. So I'll keep you updated. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. This kind of stuff is what we enjoy doing, and all of us do it at some level. I'm just, like I said, a lot of these books have sentimental value. To me, they're worth more than what I could possibly get for them. But at the end of the day, if they're just sitting around and taking up space and preventing us from getting other stuff that we potentially want more, we have to constantly, I have to, I know some of you just hoard the books. Thanks, Xavier. Thanks for stopping by, dude. A lot of you just hoard books, and it's never an issue. That's, God bless you guys. I mean, you guys have the best sort of system, right? Just kind of gonna collect everything and just create space as I go. I wish I had that kind of free, because I would do this exact same thing. I'd just, if it were up to me, I would get like a storage facility and just fill that freaking building up with comic books and just lock it up at the end of the day. You just have it all cataloged, right? Just like there's every freaking single book in here. Like if I could do it that way, I probably would. But yeah, this whole exercise was because we can't do that. So yeah, I'm a little different. I got some manga. Yeah. Are you into manga, Xavier? Let me kind of pull out what manga I do have here. Got some. Got a random selection of stuff. It's kind of weird. Just going to show you a little bit of what I have. I don't think any of these are first prints. If they are, then I wouldn't even know how to go about knowing if they're first prints or not. It's all in Japanese. But I know they do have first print. Like there's a collectible market there for first prints. But I got like a Slam Dunk. These are all in Japanese language, by the way. Fullmetal Alchemist. Another Slam. These are the larger volume Slam Dunks. Kind of Dragon Ball. What issue is this? Number 2, the second issue. This is really cool. This is the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. That was a great series, the Unicorn series. You've got Evangelion 13. This is where the apocalypse happens. This is, I think, the second to last. Yeah, see, this is where the angels attack Asuka. Good stuff right there. Love Evangelion. Okay, and then this is actually the English version. This is an English comic of Death Note #1. I have that for some strange reason in English. Just some of the books I have. And there's a big difference between, I'm glad you brought up horror manga kick. Yeah. I'm not reading anything. I'm kind of stopped reading manga a while back and stopped watching anime a while back. I was in Japan. I lived in Japan 2013 through 2016 for 4 years. And yeah, I mean, I was in Japan, but I wasn't really into. Actually, I take that back. I wasn't really reading contemporary manga. I was watching Naruto. Um, I think it was like, Attack on Titan was getting going when I was in Japan. It was like the big thing. Um, and the thing is, I got into watching the anime rather than the manga, which everybody is saying like, no, you should read the manga. The manga's way better. And I feel like that's the case for most things, right? Most things in manga is going to be better. Um, although for something like Evangelion, especially the remakes, the Evangelion remakes are just incredible. It's like animation at its like highest level. I mean, like people need to go and watch it. If you haven't watched Evangelion, um, it's the fourth, right? It's the third movie in the series. No, it's the fourth. It's the fourth movie in the series, and the last. It's the final. Um, it's a trip. It's freaking animation at its um, highest level. I don't know. There's nothing in the U.S. that on an animation scale that comes close to Evangelion, and comes close to a lot of what the Japanese studios are producing. To be honest, but yeah, I kind of just stopped. Um, I do. I think the last thing I watched was Psychopaths, Psychopath. It was Psychopath. That was the last thing I watched. I watched also the conclusion to Naruto, which took years and years. I mean, it was like a decade's worth of, almost 2 decades to watch that come to an end. And I will say Naruto manga is better than Naruto animation, but Naruto animation has its good points and bad points. You get to see everything in color, whereas in manga it's in black and white. That's really the only sort of advantage for anime. You get to see motion and things in color, but in terms of story and in terms of the artwork and just the slow pace of the panels, which is why we love comic books, right? Um, it's a better medium, way better medium. Um, but thanks, Xavier, for the sort of the tangent for me to go off on. And I mean that in like the best way, because that my whole show is me going off on tangents and talking sort of nonsense. But I think that's why people tune into me. Um, what was I going to say related to that? Yeah, so I stopped, when I was in Japan, I had the opportunity to watch a lot of anime, read a lot of manga and stuff. Of course, I don't read Japanese, and I don't understand, I didn't understand Japanese well at the time. But I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was like building Gundams, going to Akihabara and just buying like gacha toys, Naruto like collectibles, picking up random book, and manga books, uh, just wasting time and buying a lot of crap. Just I'm not crap, like figures and stuff. Some of it I brought here. Some of it's at my parents' place in South Korea. Um, brought a lot of stuff because it's just Akihabara is like it's like the Shangri-La paradise for nerds. You can get a lot of the American comic book stuff, pop culture stuff there as well. But it's really, if you're like into anime and manga, that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Like if you're into Gundam, if you're into all these, you know, Japanese culture stuff, pop culture stuff, you're gonna have an orgasm right when you step out of the subway station. It's a trip. And I'd go to Akihabara. I'd also go to Nakano Broadway, which is sort of a more subdued. It's got little shops, all collectibles and stuff. Sort of, it's a better place to find certain things. But that kind of stuff is everywhere in Japan. You can go in just any kind of anime shop, used bookstore. I mean, I picked up those each of those manga volumes for like $1 to $2 each. I mean, it's just ridiculous how cheap you can get used, really good graded, like high grade used books for it. You got to realize in Japan, manga is not something you collect. I mean, I guess you could collect it. I shouldn't say it's not something you collect. You collect it, but it's not really a market. Manga is something you read, you consume, and then you recycle. You either sell to get some of that money back, or you just throw it away. Like you bundle it up and you give it to your friends, you share it or whatever. It's not. Yeah, people collect it to read. They'll read it maybe a couple times, and then at some point they want to get more stuff, so they'll sell it to a used bookstore, or give it away to their friends or something. They'll just they space is very valuable in Japan, so it's not something you hoard and keep. You read it and then you toss it out. And I think a lot of people do that with comic books too. Like you definitely like pick up stuff and then you read it and you sell it, or you get some kind of value for it, right? Whether you sell to LCS or whatever. Kind of the same concept, except here they're bagged and boarded, and they're kept in boxes, and they're kind of hoarded. Whereas in Japan, there's less of that. And because manga is not deemed a collectible, you can pick it up for cheap, especially the used volumes, which they nicely wrap in cellophane to present like new. It's crazy. But yeah, like you have people taking really good care of their books. They read it, they're not eating next to it. They're taking really good care of the books, and then once they've read it, they'll pack the whole volume and sell it as a whole volume. So these used bookstores literally just get volumes and volumes, like complete set volumes of books every freaking day. And if they don't have a complete set volume, they'll have enough single issues to create their own single, volume. So they sell them in sets, they sell them individually. You can buy, 3, 4. Someone in the back will bring out the exact same things you just bought and restock the inventory. It's a crazy system that they have out there. But again, you can buy. I would never advise anyone to buy new manga unless it's really something you love. Like you just love it so much you have to have it each time the volume comes out. And there are a lot of people like that. There are a lot of people who just like, they'll wait for the next volume and they'll get it. those first adapters, I guess, get to enjoy it first. And generally, there's a little lag between when the series finishes and when like you can go to the used bookstore and start getting them used. So, but if you don't mind the lag, if you don't mind waiting a few months, um, or I shouldn't say a few months because some of these things run for years, right? But if you don't mind waiting till like the first couple of volumes are in circulation and then they start showing up at the used bookstores, then yeah, you can get them for a fraction of the price. So it's a little bit of a different market for comic books over there. Yeah, the idea of like slabbing manga in Japan is probably crazy and ludicrous. People just like, what are you doing? But I know it's pretty popular here. I think CGC, some of the grading services are doing it now. Not sure I would get into stuff like that, but again, who wouldn't want like a first print run of like Dragon Ball Z? That would be insanely expensive, I would imagine, if they even have something like that. I don't know if in Japan if they even print, if they even make that known that it's a first print. Like if there's a difference between a first and 10th print. There may be, I just don't have enough knowledge about it. But if there is such a collectible market like that, that would be crazy if you had a first print run of a very popular manga series. All right, well, it's getting late. I got shit to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna just end it here. Thanks for hanging out. Listen to me, you know, listen to me go off on tangents and kind of show off what I'm planning to sell. So I'll keep you, stay tuned. If we sell the books and we get some cash, or hopefully get that book, hopefully get that book that I want from Ethan, I'll keep you updated on what happens there. All right, peace out. See you in the next one.